You do not exist. Space-time has only recently found evidence to support what sages, gurus, and ancient spiritual teachers have known for thousands of years. We do not exist. All that exists is a mental construct, a projection of thought. Science, specifically quantum physics, says time-space is an emergent property. Both Newton and Einstein's space-time theories are confined to our physically limited perceptions of what we see. Perceptual space-time is then a user interface, and it requires a user in order for it to exist. So space-time emerges as a property of our mental interfacing, and a bodily existence is an emergent property of a mental construct. The I constructs space-time to provide the limits required to experience. Experience only happens within a framework, a limit, a structure. But the interfacing with space-time is not itself limited to space-time. Only that which is perceived is limited to space-time. So since the body is perceivable, it is limited. But the I perceiving or witnessing the body is not. To have an experience of being a body, you have to forget that you are actually the source from which the body emerged. And you have to attach yourself to the concept or the projection, a mentally constructed view of a body. But that body constantly changes, and your attachment to the body becomes a constant battle of trying to stay attached to something that keeps changing. This is samsara, or like Maya. Just like trying to catch a bubble, you might spend a few seconds trying to catch that bubble, but very quickly frustration sets in because bubbles keep popping and disappearing. And if you keep trying, soon enough the anchor will appear. And anchor is just stuck energy that's mounting in response to the massive amount of energy required to release the attachment to a perspective that the bubble can be caught because the bubble exists, or that the bubble exists and so then it can be caught. So because all exists within the emergent property of space-time, then all existence created within space-time is a projection. So no thing really exists except momentarily. And that moment is so fast that the brain can't process the individual moments. So the brain combines all the moments into one moment, just for ease. Tracking one moment is easier than tracking a billion moments. The brain's job is to process and organize. It's not to understand. So it will take relevance over comprehension. So whatever is relevant to the person at the time is what exists for that person. Now, you and I don't exist. We're both illusions that we created in order to have an experience of existence. The you think you are only exists within the framework of space-time. The same can be said of all things, including myself, and that framework is temporary because it's continually deconstructing and recreating to facilitate the infinite number of expressions of yous and I's that give experience and information back to source. Your lack of existence is not license to be irresponsible with this life. Rather, this knowledge gives you the ability to respond as the source of your entire life experience. Your life is a direct representation of what you think. So there is only one universal law, and that is that all is mental. So if you want a different experience, change your mind because you don't really exist. Live deliberately. Namaste.